Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, my Gorilla Monsoon to my Jesse the Body Ventura, my bike gang member.
We found out we've got full numbers again.
We're full numbers again. We were a little worried. We lost a member in our bike gang. Turns up we're back to 4. So we had a little meeting. We don't have to lock the door on somebody. We're okay now.
So all you guys that are worried about the Australian division, it's a go again?
It's a go again. The dashing stashes are in full effect, and spring is just right around the corner. But what is right around the corner as well is our returning non-wrestling fan, JD Caldwell. How you doing, JD?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I gave you a great intro. You just fucking flubbed it up. Like typical fucking JD hosting a Vizart show past Friday.
He really JD'd that up.
That's what I'm here for. If you guys set expectations, I will not meet them.
Yeah, funny story. I just had a comedy show last Friday, and I wanted to do the Vizart video. I wanted to do it some actual time, so I made JD the host.
Nope.
And I thought I made clear the lineup to JD. But JD misunderstood something I said, and he thought I was up next, but I was really going to go last because I feel like last is the tougher spot.
Yeah.
Just because I think people get a little too fucking drunk at that show.
Yeah.
So second to last is
usually.
usually.
Do you have booze there? Or is it like you should bring your own?
It's donation. It's like a tip
Wink.
bar, type thing. They have free beer.
Oh.
But if you want to put some money in a jar to tell people thank you for the show,
okay,
then yes, you can do that.
Okay.
It's a little wink, wink, nod.
There's no
nod.
such thing as free anything.
No, of course.
Yes,
But it's free.
But with
it's free.
donation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that free with.
But you better fucking donate.
But Jake told me that Dusty Cagle was the headliner, and as a headliner in my comedic brain, that's the last spot.
Okay.
I don't have the wrestling brain like you guys.
Yeah.
Because I said like he's like the main event. Because sometimes the main event is so sometimes the main event isn't always the last match.
This is news to me, guys. This was news to me.
And then also too, I was experimenting with the lineup because I feel like I said because people get a little too drunk.
I think that was a good call.
Yeah,
it was a good call.
Because I feel like he
fucked it up.
Because
it was a real good idea.
Because he was in the perfect spot. But JD, like a goddamn pro, would not get off stage until somebody came up there. So he just kept doing time. Like, why isn't Jake on stage? And I'm like, why isn't JD getting off for this intro? And then somebody's like, well, he just fucking introduced you. I go, what? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Your next guy is Jake Manning.
He puts his hand through the curtain.
So I put my head there, I was like, Dusty's going up next. But it was funny. I should have known something was up because the comic just before, JD goes to me and goes, all right, I'm going to give you the best intro ever. I'm going to hype these people up. I'm going to get them all excited. And I just go, yeah.
See, you didn't pick up on it either.
But what I should have said, it goes, yeah, but you got to put Dusty up, motherfucker.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that was it.
So don't give him as good a one as me.
So, but I didn't pick up on it. It was just as much my fault as yours. So we were both to blame.
True.
We're both to blame.
I think the dozen people that were affected.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing about that room. It only holds 30. So if you get a dozen people in there,
half capacity, bro.
Half capacity,
half
still,
full.
And then if you get the comics to sit out there and you've overbooked a show, it's great. It's a full room then. It's a full room.
Hey
then.
guys, when you get done with your match, will you please go sit in the crowd so we have some people? Thank you.
Yes. So
I
very.
absolutely loved hosting there. If you want me to do that again, I will do it again.
You did such a good job the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I didn't botch it.
Yeah.
I won't botch it again now that I know it's a wrestling.
Well, speaking of botches, I've been botching our review sections that people have been leaving reviews, and I tell people when they leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and you slide into them DMs and give me your address. Trust me, my DMs work just fine. I promise you my DMs work just fine. If you just slide into my DMs and let me know your shirt size and your address, I will mail you out a t-shirt just for leaving a review on iTunes and Stitcher. And I've been neglecting to tell people at the top who's sitting on top of the poll for a while. I have been sending out the t-shirts, so I've definitely been on top of that. And I want to let you guys know that Josh Strickland, you're no longer on top of the poll for iTunes.
Suck it.
But technically he wasn't. I think KY Casey King was supposed to be on top of the poll. But I definitely said his name not too long ago.
You done been sucking it.
But it doesn't matter because actually on iTunes, the person's name who we will be saying, and I'm very proud, and I hope this kind of stays up there for a while so this person gets free advertising, John Moses Photography.
Hell yeah.
John Moses left a review. Fantastic. Probably one of the best ringside photographers in all of professional wrestling. And he's also the ring maker for highspots.com. Quite
and
possibly.
Him and his girlfriend.
Lady friend.
Wife. Lady. Cheyenne. They have started a pro photo ops company.
Okay.
As of like this week.
Yeah.
So that's something new they're doing. So check that out. I forgot the name.
Yeah, John is fantastic, a wonderful artist, very creative, but also a very hardworking individual, and that's very a welcoming thing because sometimes artist people, they don't get stuff done on time, or artists, or hardworking people aren't as artistic, where John is like right in the middle. He's a very hardworking individual, and also he is a super, super artistic individual, especially with a camera. So just keep that in mind with that. And then on top of the poll, Stitcher, we used to have Mocha Loca 85, but now we have _Ray_, which I imagine is our good friend Ray, who gave me the nicest gift in the entire world. Not the computer, JD.
This awesome. This super nice
she
Apple.
Gave you a Mac Pro. Ray hit up White John, JD Caldwell.
How do I know Ray? Let me be Ray. Let me be Ray.
What up, girl?
No, that wood thing that says the Manning Cave, which is the name for the podcast studio, is the Manning Cave. So
she made that by hand.
Ray, thank you so much.
They can't see it, Jed.
I love it, but they can hear the thank yous.
Yes, they can.
They can hear the thank yous, and I hope she hears the thank yous.
But JD displaying it and showing imaginary people, it's not going to be.
Oh, the joke was on JD displaying something on a podcast. That's what it was. Okay,
showing
all
it
right.
off.
Yeah, because I've already seen it. I've already taken a picture. It's probably on my Instagram right now. But Ray, thank you so much for that gift. It makes me feel like I have fans.
Hey,
and
it's nice.
It's nice. So the Manning Cave now has a sign that says the Manning Cave. So now everybody who stops by the house knows what this is.
And if you were one of those fans that were going to just make a Manning Cave sign, sorry, you got to knock yourself back down to marinades and rubs.
Exactly. Please, I will accept marinades and rubs, especially rubs if I have to fly somewhere or if space is limited. But if you see me at a show and I drove there, please give me sauce marinades. I am definitely
what kind of sauce marinades you like? So I'm marinating a whole lot of meat right now. I got on Meat Parade.
Okay.
So I'm falling down the ranks. Kimberly's favorite people, but I'm on Meat Parade. I'm marinating right now.
Okay.
I got a brown sugar and maple London broil going.
Okay.
I got Caribbean mango for some pork chops. I got a chutney. Oh, not a chutney. A chimichurri on some chicken. So what do you got? What are you marinating with?
I try to avoid stuff that's a little bit sweet because I try to keep the sugar low. A bit more savory individual. But McCormick's makes this package marinade of chipotle pepper.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
All right.
The chipotle pepper.
We're doing it on beef? We doing chicken?
I'm doing chicken on that.
Okay.
And then I started to break into this new rub that I had for a while that I put on steak. It's a smoke tea rub.
Ooh.
Put that on a nice little Detroit steak.
Okay.
Something.
Tea is in drink?
Yeah.
Compared to what?
I think it's
like the letter?
Smoked sweet tea.
But it's a nice little rub. You put that on a non-direct heat for a while and let that kind of sit in there and cook.
You're a griller.
Yes, I'm a griller.
You're a griller.
And let that cook in just a little bit longer as opposed to the direct heat of the fire, but only put it on direct heat for a very short period of time just to sear and lock in that flavor, and then kind of and then put it off the side.
What about you, JD? What are you marinating with?
I'm marinating with Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce?
That. And some Italian seasoning.
Yeah, all right.
And some apple slices.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, shit. We got a fancy.
Bringing a vegetable into this game. What are you even thinking about it?
Yeah, marinating some pineapple. I'll throw that in there. Pineapple and apple. Y'all don't do that? Just me?
No. I am now.
Okay. Now.
Everybody, when you leave a next review, tell us what your favorite marinade is.
Yeah, please.
Change our game.
Change the name of the podcast. It's been How Did This Get Marinated?
Welcome to Marinating with Jake and Zane.
As much as I would love to talk about meat parades, we can't do that right here, right now, because we. Well,
yeah.
We'll tell you what. If we get through,
welcome to a podcast inside of a podcast.
If we burn through this conversation of our topic of discussion, we'll circle back to the marinatings and the meat parades.
Fair enough.
But our topic of discussion for today. Oh, before we get into it, JD, you've been on the podcast before, and I always ask people that return to the podcast. Have you watched any professional wrestling since the last time you were on the podcast?
This is the first time I've watched professional wrestling since the last time I was on the podcast.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No.
Well, other than your winning match.
Okay. So anything that you've seen of me, and that's usually the common thread that I am the gateway to most comics. Way into professional wrestling, and most of them are like, yeah, I don't need to say any more than that. I've seen enough. I'm done.
I figured it all out.
The professionalism of comedians is a direct correlation to the professionalism of wrestlers. And I don't know. I like the crossover.
Okay, well, let's get to a company that's known for its unprofessionalism, because
Yeah.
what we are discussing
ECW.
today is a pay-per-view. It is the 4th ECW pay-per-view, and is entitled Living Dangerously, 1998. The pay-per-view took place March 1st, 1998. The show is 21 years old, so it's allowed to drink.
It was insane to watch.
Yes.
Which would have been ironic if we'd have watched Barely Legal.
Yes. Very ironic. This pay-per-view took place at Asbury Park, New Jersey, at the Asbury Park Convention Hall. Attendance for this show was 3,700. Buy rate for the show was a 0.23, which was higher than all the other previous pay-per-views except for Barely Legal, obviously because it was the first one. There's a lot more
two others?
Yes, basically, right? The other two. And then the live gate for the show was reported at $80,000, which is also the second biggest live gate for a pay-per-view show in ECW history.
What is Livegate?
The amount of money that was taken in by the show.
Okay.
So it's brought in $80,000. I brought in $80 at the Vizard show.
Gotcha.
The live gate at the Vizard show was $80.
Okay.
So it's at least double that.
Yes. Okay. So if you understand math.
Yeah.
And we do.
Now, you guys saw the WWE Network version.
Yes.
I happen to have an original copy of the original pay-per-view.
Fucking hot shit over here.
So
you keep that in your video game safe?
Yes.
What's the difference? Because this one was 2.5 hours long, the one that I watched. How long was the original one?
The only thing that's really different is the music.
Yeah.
So you and me, Zane, might have a conversation with it. Also, I heard a rumor that Joey Styles had to have some of his commentary re-recorded. I don't know if that's necessarily a case, and I can't think of. I didn't have time to go through the actual network file to see what the differences were, but I was trying to keep a listen to if there was any reason for them to re-record. Like if there's anything too offensive or too dated, or
on the, I don't know if it might not have anything to do with it. On the network version, when they first start out audio, you can't hear shit for the crowd. So maybe he was saying stuff there, and he had to go back and redo like the intro. Maybe. But like there's like no crowd like noise whatsoever. But they're chanting ECW, but you just can't hear anything at all.
You mean in the beginning when they do the shot with Joey in the ring and stuff like that?
Do you think he's just like yelling F-bombs?
No, I think...
No, because at some point he does start cussing, like saying shit and stuff on there on commentary.
Yeah, I think...
We don't give a shit. It's the ECW.
I think it was more they kept the live noise down because obviously this is the 4th time they're in pay-per-view. And they're like, oh, we're going to play... all sorts of music that we don't own the rights to. Okay. Like, we're going to play Jungle Boogie, and we don't want to get it sued. Yeah. So let's, like, make it very hard to hear.
Gotcha.
Like, we're going to play Ozzy Osbourne, like, right out of the gates, and let's make it so you can't really discern if it's, like, because that's like one of the ways around it, is you can't really hear it, and you consider it background noise. Yeah. But if you have a direct...
Clearly make it out,
and it's piped directly into the audio, and you can clearly hear it, then it's kind of an issue. So that's where the gray area comes in, and I noticed that a couple times on the original pay-per-view version that like some of the music, like, that's a little hard to hear. I think they're intentionally doing that.
Yeah. So okay.
I think that's across the board. Also, too, I guess the video package with Wing Kanemaru and Tanaka, like you didn't hear Paul Heyman's audio or something like there was something interesting with that. Those are the only differences that I heard. But did you guys start off with Taz walking into a half set up arena? Okay. And then he just looks around. I'm ready.
Which I watch most things with subtitles on.
Okay.
Because it's just something I've gotten used to because my girlfriend's deaf. And so she is always either like, what did he say? Or we have to watch subtitles.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Squawk. So
what is she, a bin bird or something?
Yeah, she's very sweet D. But as soon as he gets out of the car, it just says "I'm ready" on the subtitles, and I was like, he didn't say anything. And so for 5 solid fucking minutes of him walking around, it just says "I'm ready" on the bottom, and then it goes away, and then he says it, and I'm like, God damn it, this is the worst. I had to cut it off right there.
Yeah, but the question is though, JD, did you have to cut it off when Joey Styles makes the "living dangerously" pun? We're all going to be living dangerously.
Yeah, there was a lot of puns through the whole thing that I kind of appreciated.
As a pun guy?
Yeah, as a punny son of a bitch as that I am, I definitely appreciated the puns. Some of them were a little too... That was one of them. That was just like, too much pun.
Mm-hmm.
Too much pun.
I was just thinking about we're all getting head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There is... so much head jokes towards the end, but we'll
get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We want to start off most certainly with the ECW intro video. Gotta say, guys, the way wrestling is today, and then going back and looking at that ECW intro video, fucking makes my dick hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it really just like
It was badass.
Yeah.
It was really badass.
Like a living color intro.
Oh yeah, it was like watching like an episode of In Living Color on BET, like late at night. Like, oh yeah, I remember when we could just say whatever the fuck. Like, I remember the 90s.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx got popular making fun of trans people.
Yeah. Yeah. Never
So we
forget.
can give through with that.
Hashtag never forget.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like, so,
Let's not put these fuckers over anymore.
but we jump right in with match number 1, which consisted of the FBI, Tracy Smothers, and Little Guido with the Don himself, Tommy
Don.
Rich,
Tommy,
taking on Jerry Lynn and Chris Chetty. There was a little discussion about Tracy Smothers' son, Kyle,
Yeah.
not being an Italian name.
But then he equates, Joey Styles equates it to like his last name. He's like, last time I was at the family reunion, I didn't see me Kyle's running around my place. Insinuating there's a Kyle Styles out there.
Yeah, or was he saying that Styles is an Italian last name? Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
like, do you not understand being Italian either?
yeah, like who? The only person that understands to be Italian is Tommy Rich.
The only one. Even little Guido's not sure what's going on.
What were your thoughts on this match, JD?
So they were called the Full-Blooded Italians.
Yep, FBI.
And then,
FBI.
I kept
Not female
trying-
body inspectors.
I kept trying to like place the faces of like earlier people in their career to when I was watching like a few years down the road, and like I feel like Chris Corrado was there. Like
Maybe.
I don't know. He was the guy on the outside of the ring. He was the Vince McMahon son. Vince McMahon's son. Am I a match ahead?
You're a match ahead. You're thinking of Lance Wright.
All right, sorry. So
Okay.
my bad. So
This is the one with the full-blooded Italian guys.
this is the one,
or the female body inspectors, whichever you want to call them.
It'd be
I
the
feel like
guys
there
on
was, like,
green. They kept doing this neck thing a whole
doing
bunch.
the
Like
neck
Italians.
thing.
They do
Yeah,
the
neck thing.
Afangul.
The only-
This guy, they got beat. The neck guys got
neck
beat.
guys did get beat.
And then I felt like one of the dudes was a wrestler in the WCW a few years later. I don't know.
They talked about
like a Triple H. Was that a Triple H?
no, that's
doing
not
that?
a Triple H thing.
No, that's not a triple.
They did talk about.
This is you guys are the one that booked me. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. How did you get booked?
How dare you? How dare you be here?
Kindly leave. We'll figure this out.
I love them getting their asses kicked.
You sure?
That was-
There you go. That's good. That's
Yeah,
a good middle of the road answer. They
Yeah.
got their ass kicked a lot.
Yeah, they got their
They
ass
really
kicked.
did.
I dig
They
that. I dig
They
it.
really did.
Yeah. So one thing that happens on ours a lot is that they talk about the WWF a bunch, but they blur out they bleep or not bleep out, but they just drop audio on the F.
I noticed
So
that.
they'll say WCW or WW.
Yeah,
Really?
and then
Yeah.
and then it falls out.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was a lot of references, especially later on. They're using like your Vince McMahon given name.
Yeah. Oh, they still got that on there.
Yeah, which was weird to me knowing what I know now about the lawsuits that happened.
Oh, really?
With WCW and like the Razor Ramon, Scott Hall stuff. Like they felt that Scott Hall was acting like Razor Ramon, and then they found some run sheets that said Razor comes to the ring instead of saying Scott.
Yeah.
So it's like you are using characters directly from our intellectual property on your television show, and they're just like calling Tammy Sitch Sonny, just straight up, and
Not even giving a fuck.
Not even giving a fuck. So whatever.
I love Tommy Rich's face being on the flag.
Yeah.
That was real cool.
We also... Did you guys hear the homo chant, or did they blur that out?
I did not notice the homo chant.
There was definitely a homo chant in the middle of this.
I totally believe it.
Before or after he got hit with the flagpole?
I want to say that Joey Styles might acknowledge it, but didn't say homo.
Yeah.
But I believe that he acknowledges that they're saying something.
Yes.
Who did they wrestle against?
Chris Chetty.
And Jerry Lynn.
And they give away that Jerry Lynn was Mr. JL.
Yeah,
just say it out there.
But I do like Joey Styles' things. He goes, yeah, the entire marketing department at WCW came up with that one.
Yeah.
We really got behind that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that.
For the ad wizards.
Yes. The finish, and then he just tosses the flag.
Yeah, and that fan just takes it.
And then blocks the finish from the hard camera.
Yep. Like a champ.
I thought it was gonna be like have a replay because I didn't kind of see what had happened. No. I had to rewind it.
Oh, there were a couple of moments that needed some replay, and we'll get to those in a minute. But yeah, fun little match. Southern.
Did Chris Chetty do anything other than ECW?
No, not really. I think
he was always I always just remember him being a guy, or always just being a really good talent.
Yeah,
he just never really did much after ECW.
I think he had a shot or he had a deal with WWF, and then that fell through. Okay. I remember him talking. I remember somebody I think Dorian was talking about it. That Chetty had a shot at WWF, and then something happened. I don't know.
Okay.
Never really understood. But yeah, he just kind of
went on. He's now he's a mortgage guy now.
Chetty?
Yep.
Oh.
Just because I was looking up to see if he did anything after. For some reason, I thought that he was he was a ref or something for a moment, later on. But he's a mortgage guy.
No, fucking Nova's a bank guy.
Yeah.
So
is that a success story?
I guess. Yeah, I would assume. He looks great. He's not in a wheelchair, so I assume he's winning.
Yeah.
We good over there?
Yeah, we're good. We're
okay.
Good. Great. Just making sure.
And then Jerry Lynn's awesome.
Yes, fantastic. Little babyface Jerry Lynn, no goatee, little Dutch boy haircut. Great.
Mr. JL.
Yeah. Then we get the Wing Kanemaru and Masato Tanaka.
Which I never understood the point of this.
I don't know what's going on here.
Just so was that the name of the original match or the name of the match that was recorded? Because the original match, the person didn't show up or something, was replaced.
Yeah, Doug Furnas replaced.
Doug Furnas.
Okay. Yeah. But they knew they didn't have him, but they still showed the bit for him. So I never knew if that was just saying these Japanese guys are coming. I didn't know that was building up the match since it's not the payoff to the match.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have texted Mike Johnson, but I feel like I bother him enough on research.
God damn it, Jake! Just bring me on your podcast.
Yeah. So I exactly I felt bad, but I was going to, but I'm not going to bother him. I bothered him last time on a dumb question for the 10 Bell Pod Rick Rude episode, and I kind of embarrassed myself a little bit. So I'll
reel it in.
I'll skip one question for Mike Johnson, and the next time
get him again.
I'll get him again.
When you kind of feel you redeemed yourself.
I feel I'm gonna redeem myself. I gotta see him again, redeem myself, and then
there's the next question.
The next question. But the next match, as we already kind of discussed, is Masato Tanaka taking on Doug Furnas with Lance Wright, which is the guy that said he was associated with Vince McMahon. So you're just a little bit ahead. I like how Masato Tanaka comes out to Jackal. That was his entrance.
We didn't
song.
get it. No, we didn't get that.
No, he came out to
we
Jackal.
We don't get any real music.
Yeah.
Which, when we talk about it shortly, New Jack. So think about how not having their normal music affects things, and then think about how New Jack's coming.
Okay.
So now back to Doug Furnas.
Doug Furnas and Masato Tanaka, 25-year-old Masato Tanaka.
Still looked great last we saw him. Still looks the same age.
Oh, he is fantastic, and he's gonna be at WrestleCon this year. And I remember
he was so nice. And so is his wife.
I picked him up at the airport.
At
WrestleCon, not the last New Orleans one, but the one before.
Mm-hmm. I think we were together on that one. We were there with him at one point in the van.
Okay, you were there because I had to go back and forth a couple of times.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, yeah, Masato Tanaka, super cool dude. I picked him at the airport a couple of times. Very nice, very appreciative. But yeah, and I think he was. I don't don't know if it's his wife now, but he was dating the daughter of like a really famous Japanese wrestler, and they're keeping it super secret.
Oh, okay.
So I might have outed him on this podcast.
There you go. Whoa, shit! Got some Yakuza shit. Now he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, well,
you just basically
I would like to think by now that it's been made public because it's been what 6 years now.
Been a minute.
Like
you've had time.
Listen, I've gone through many relationships in that period of time. I imagine he's either gone through it himself or he's seen the other side.
Most likely the same projection.
Yes. But I was enjoying this match, but all of a sudden...
And then Doug Furnas happens.
This match goes off the rails very fast.
2 very obvious fucked up botches.
Oh, yeah.
And not by the man that doesn't speak the language.
Yeah, like... And it's fine and it's okay. All right, you're not like we're just kind of wrestling and we're starting off slow, but then it's the spinning reverse DDT off the second row.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, where he kind of lands in a weird
angle, and that's when everything just fucking goes to shit.
What happens? Tell me why. Because I don't know. Why.
So at one point there was the one I remember the most, the first one I remember the most. Is Tanaka goes to give him a crossbody. The guy's standing there and he turns sideways and jumps the guy. Guy is supposed to obviously like grab him for what's coming next. Doesn't even move his arms, so like he hits him and falls down on the ground.
Huh. Was he like messed up, or was he?
I might have been lost.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem when you're dealing with people that speak 2 different languages. Mm-hmm. That if you do get lost in the ring, you can't fix it in the ring. That's why it's so important to go over that stuff in the back so everybody knows. Yeah. And everybody's on the same page, and Doug Furnas, probably not too far from a generation where we'll call in the ring or figure it out or whatever. So I don't know how much they went over in the back, but obviously
not enough.
When you're dealing with somebody where you have a language barrier with, and then you get heated in the moment, you're not going to jump into that second language, and one person doesn't have a second language. Yeah. This is the problem we have.
The one thing was just landing badly. It was just landing unsafe. Gotcha. That was a crossbody. And then at the very end, he comes through. It looks like he's getting ready to give him something. And it looks like Doug is supposed to like almost pick him up for a move or something. And he doesn't. So he gets close to him, stops, and then just fucking punches him anyway.
Yeah.
So. Botched.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Yeah. So
like, everybody was shitting on it. Like, you fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Everybody, that's the one thing I did hear in the crowd. And that is a notorious crowd for letting them know they fucked up.
Gotcha.
I mean, they revel in that opportunity. They wait for people to fuck up.
There's a lot of drama happening out there. So
I
assumed that it was just the wrestlers were the show, and that's the show.
And they were worse in Philly.
Oh yeah. Well, and here's the thing: like at ECW, this is an example of when the crowd was a part of the show.
Yeah. No, I noticed a lot of it went out into the crowd. I was surprised that the crowd was so well.
But even what they're doing is a large part of what the show's about.
Gotcha.
And we'll see examples of that throughout the rest of the show. But this right here, where they tell them you fucked up, that's a big part of the show.
You fucked up.
Any other thoughts about this match?
I'm glad it ended. I love Tanaka. I never really gave a shit about Doug Furnas.
I want to like Doug Furnas. Yeah. I want to like Doug Furnas.
Yeah.
But
and then his promo at the end was kind of like, I mean, at least he had a redeeming quality where he popped the crowd before he left.
Yeah.
But now, was this after he had gotten fired from WWE?
I think so. They were very much ships passing the night. I think Furnas was actually even on the way out of like ECW, and Tanaka was on the way in. Okay. Like, this is Tanaka's debut.
That's probably why he got put in there or whatever, because of the changing. Yeah. Whatever, Furnas, the last minute.
No, we don't have this wing guy, so.
But let's move on to Joey with.
And I'm sorry, and Mr. Wright was a terrible promo.
Okay.
Right? He was bad, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought he was.
I was watching with another comedian who's a pro wrestling fan, and he kept shitting all over Lance Wright as a promo guy, but he was already asking like a million Mark questions.
Because at one point he gets Vince's name wrong. He calls him Vince Kenny McMahon.
Yeah, and also too, like Vince Kenny McMahon Jr., which if you know Vince McMahon, he doesn't like the Junior.
You don't call him the
Junior. Like if you're trying to play the character, know that Vince McMahon does not like Junior.
Yeah,
that is a thing.
Okay.
So
just making sure. I thought he was bad. I was making sure I was right.
No,
am I just a prick and jaded?
I watched this with another comic who's a pro wrestling fan, and all he could do was just shit all over Lance. So yeah, you're not wrong in that.
Okay. Okay,
sweet boy, from what I hear, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Amber Gertner told me that he was a nice guy, but nobody liked him.
Well,
So
happens the best.
So I can at least talk to Amber Gertner.
Yeah, you haven't fucked up with her
yet. Mike Johnson, like I can't ask questions to right now, but Amber Gertner.
Oh, is this segue time too? Speaking of Gertner?
Speaking of no, not yet.
Oh, goddamn!
Still got ways. That would have been a good segue. That'd have been a good segue.
We'll just throw it in there.
Well, do you have a Nicole Bass segue? Because I would need it.
Oh
right now.
Man.
Because
I jerked off to her once or twice. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. Okay, great transition.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of
girls I've jerked off to.
I was gonna say, speaking of things that are whatever. Here's they just show footage of Dreamer showing up with a Halliburton suitcase
and a dog
and a bulldog.
Yeah, they were like, play the tape, and then it was just him.
It was just him walking in and Beulah not being there, and that's supposed to prove something.
I thought I forgot that the whole Beulah thing was the thing, and I was waiting for them to jump him.
Yeah,
and then it didn't happen. I was like, are they gonna beat this guy's ass while he's walking a dog? That's brutal.
Yeah, real brutal.
That dog's gonna fuck you up. And then my thought was, where's his goddamn gear?
It's all crammed in there.
Is it in the Halliburton? I thought that's where you kept your notepad and your gun.
Wow. Well, you can keep that in there too as well.
Yeah, you gotta keep
your boots in there too, brother.
On the Halliburton.
All of it. It's a high premium suitcase.
So I can't wait till we're doing this resurgence of fanny packs. I can't wait till the Halliburton comes back.
Yeah, that's right, Halliburton.
Gotta get on that, bud.
Sorry, I'm just thinking like what level of my career am I gonna be at?
Are you at Halliburton level? Yeah.
Am I at Halliburton level?
Yeah.
Like I've avoided the fanny pack thing, but I'm so close to tipping over the edge.
Man, I've seen some people like with some. I've seen some new fanny packs, like not on people, but like Jordan Grace posted a fanny pack that was straight fucking take this to Iraq. You can carry everything you need in this fanny pack. Like, oh, that might be the next purchase, brother.
I would want to jump on the fanny packs, but I don't like the people that get it to be ironic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like people that get it to be genuine, but they're like, oh, I'm a good brother. I got a fanny pack.
Yeah.
That pisses me off. But the people that are genuinely like, no, this is very functional and useful, that's few and far between. I don't care that the regular people make fun of me for having a fanny pack. Mm-hmm. I mostly don't want to be associated with the people
with the
jack-offs, the good brothers of the world. So
Harlem Roboto carries around this small purse-style thing now that's fucking way cooler. Okay. It almost looks like a shave kit, but on like an actual long
kind of like what Cable had in Deadpool 2?
Yeah. Okay, like, but not like full-on satchel like Zach Galifianakis in Hangover.
Okay. See,
like
I could rock
smaller.
that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch over to that.
Yeah, I'd go that route.
Yeah, he's got this real nice classy one.
Okay.
It's almost like a bigger like airport bag kind of thing.
Yeah, I can do
that.
Like
a laptop bag?
Not that big. But it's like it could
It'd
hold
be like a shave kit, but like wrapped around here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's real nice looking. It's a Swiss Army one. It's fucking real cool.
Oh, I'm sold already.
Yeah,
sold already.
Marinades and purses, guys. Marinades and purses.
Also, too, I would like the tank top that Rob Van Dam wore to the ring for match number 3, which is a Louis Spicoli tribute tank top, which said "Love 90210." Yep. And then Louis on the back.
I thought it said Louis 90210.
Yeah, that probably was more like it. I thought it said love, but yeah, Louis 90210. That'd make more sense.
Yeah, it was just Louis.
Well, see,
which is the second time they mentioned Louis Spicoli on the thing, which I like.
On the non-network show, it said love 90210.
Okay,
but obviously
they edited for
that.
I got you.
Because Rob Van Dam fucked up on the airbrush because it was so high.
Yeah,
he just wrote love 90210. Oh shit, it was supposed to be Louis.
Whatever.
So then he had contacts with the WWE Network, and he was like, "Hey, can you just make sure this says Louis 90210?"
I need you to spend more in budget overdubbing my T-shirt on this show than we spent on the show.
Yeah. And they're like, "Sure, Rob."
Whatever. Yeah, we got it, buddy.
We got it. Match number 3. Rob Van Dam versus Too Cold Scorpio. This was hailed as the best match on the card. You guys agree or disagree?
I disagree.
I know that it is the best match on the card, but I think other stuff is better. Okay. I think Taz and Bigelow was better. Oh. But I do understand why this is the best match.
The Bigelow is where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at a little bit too. But yeah, all the internet marks like, oh, this is the one you got to go out to see.
And I get it.
I get it. But also too, like I like looking at the crowd's reaction, and the crowd was very quiet during this one.
Oh yeah.
Because they want to see violence, and these guys were deliberately giving them wrestling. And also too, like some of the wrestling, it's just like, all right, I'm going to hit this top rope move and then climb the top rope and hit you again and then hit you again. It's like, I'm just going to hit my moves and then you hit your moves.
And then we're just hitting moves.
Which 17
probably at the time would have been you maybe a different thought.
17-year-old Jake Manning would have loved every bit of that. But Jake Manning, that's
but have you seen
veteran.
Sammy Guevara and Bandito? Because that is nothing comparatively anymore. Too cold, Scorpio.
Yeah, that is the thing. That things have kind of evolved and changed differently. But like, I had a good observation, like, because Rob Van Dam during this match, he's in his prime.
Oh yeah,
Rob Van Dam, like peak prime of his career, and there was a time if you were going to build a wrestling company. Or do something big in professional wrestling, you were going to do it with Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
But as we know Rob Van Dam right now, like...
Is that still his name?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like, this is the comparison I make, because I also do stand-up comedy, and I'm a professional wrestler, and I'm just like...
Professional stand-up comedy, too.
I'm a professional stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Unprofessional wrestler.
Unprofessional
wrestler.
Oh, that's the name of the first album.
Welcome,
there you go, guys.
Welcome to the next shirt.
I was gonna call it Heel Turn.
There you go.
There you go.
Man Scalp and Man.
I feel like Rob Van Dam is the Dennis Miller of professional wrestling. Because there was a time when they were both super edgy, very much in demand, innovative, like everything you want, what everybody aspired to be.
Yeah.
And then you now look at him today and you're like, what the fuck?
Very Bill Maher of you.
Yeah, just very your shell of you're in living off a past reputation, and you're not even really the same person anymore, and don't watch what you were known to be doing and hailed it for. Like, and Dennis Miller is now playing Winthrop Coliseum, which is nothing wrong with that right now, but I can only imagine what he's fucking saying on stage.
Yeah.
And is he funny? Is he funny?
No, he's just equally as stoned as Rob Van Dam.
There you go.
All right, I can roll with that. But
he's doing some pretty high-flying shit for being stoned, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a question. Like, how high were these guys in this match?
Had to be.
They were super fucking high.
That's why it's so entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, just get up and do my shit again, man.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Also, too, spotted George Tahinis, the photographer at Ringside.
Okay.
We just purchased all his pictures, like his catalog and library. So we probably have pictures of said match and this entire pay-per-view. So
there you go.
He's very clearly on this. But I love that Two Gold Scorpio calls for the 450 splash multiple times.
Yeah.
And doesn't really do it until except for one time. But he calls for it 6 times.
Babe Ruth called for more home runs than he hit, brother.
This is true.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Sandman runs out and Sabu comes out, and I guess they had already done the Dueling Canes match earlier in the night.
I assume that was more of a dark match.
Probably the first match out, and they did it as a dark match. We'll discuss why, Robbo, they did that.
Which is what puts this pay-per-view over the top for me.
Okay.
Which makes me think this is a fucking genius pay-per-view.
Okay. All right.
Because right before this match started, they talked about why Sabu wasn't going to be around.
They couldn't show that match.
They couldn't show that match. They couldn't show that match.
Okay.
Couldn't show that match. The censors won't let us air Sabu versus Sandman because it was too violent.
Was that true, or is that...
Well, I mean, if you watch the rest of the pay-per-view that we watched...
Sabu comes in later.
Which is part of why it's so genius. That was the plan.
Okay. All right, I see what happened. All right.
Knowing what we know now.
Knowing what we know now. But when you see it laid out, we couldn't air it, we can't put it out, we can't do it.
We'll get
there. But, Sandman during a Rana on Sabu, and we all know. Like, when we saw that setup, that moment, when Sandman was going for that Rana on Sabu, you, JD, a guy who's seen one wrestling show before this wrestling show, knew that Sabu was not going to hit that table.
Right.
You knew.
I totally knew that.
You knew that. You've seen professional wrestling twice, and you knew that it was too far. That table was too far away for Sandman to give a Rana on Sabu to go through it. And Zane,
fuck Sandman,
a veteran of the professional wrestling business.
Fuck Sandman.
You knew. As well.
I wish somehow Sandman would have gone through.
But you definitely would have known. But JD, you.
Yeah.
Someone that shouldn't have known. You even knew.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Writing all over the walls.
All over
and that
the
table.
And that one corner of the table that Sabu hits.
Yep.
And we wonder.
God bless him for trying.
And we wonder why Sabu's body is broken. We have questions. Like, how can he do this to himself? Well, he didn't do all of it to himself.
Yeah. Here's one answer. Sandman.
Yes. He as well. But
Fuck Sandman.
the violence, of course, everybody loves the whole interaction of Sandman and Sabu. Everybody wanted to see more of that.
Yeah.
But they definitely got a lot of it in match number 4, which was a 3-way dance with Balls Mahoney, Axl Rotten versus Spike Dudley and New Jack versus the Dudley Boys, consisting of Sign Guy Dudley, Big Dick Dudley, and the quintessential stud muffin himself, Joel Gertner.
Speaking of Gertner.
Was that introduction of Devon Dudley not
Man.
the greatest
200
thing on this
165 pounds.
But just the way Devon was selling
Yeah.
that intro,
Doing the fucking Hulksters, doing all of it.
That introduction, the best thing on the fucking pay-per-view. And
Yeah.
And even too, like Gertner in the moment, he's like, damn, I'm good.
Yeah,
like, just
that
him
was
knowing it.
Because I was just thinking it right before he says, like, man, fucking Gertner had it, man. Like,
Yeah.
That was the
talk
guy
about
introduced
Keith.
him, right?
Yeah, the fat dude, with the fucking neck brace.
Yeah.
Talk about having like, hey man, just go say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Be as fucking filthy as you can. And him coming up with all that shit. Oh man.
It was really good, actually.
And I'll bring this up in the middle of the podcast. Why not? I was going to talk to you like off mic about this.
Yeah,
I should have done it, but and this relates to you because you know who I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
But recently on Facebook, comedian Jen Snyder was posting something. She was like, I would so love to be in professional wrestling. And she is an amazing comedian. She's probably the best comedian in all of the Southeast, hands down.
Yeah, she's really funny.
She's a beast and a monster. But she's like, I don't want to wrestle. I just want to be a manager. I could totally see her being the female Joel Gertner.
I could see that too.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
could
I
really
have a ladies wrestling company she can come be a part of when she's ready.
If you, I told her I'd run it up the flagpole.
Brother, it's there.
Okay. If we just give her Joel Gertner tapes, I'm like, hey, write stuff like this. We'll figure out who your people are going to be. But I'm telling you, I can have a female lesbian Joel Gertner for
Brother,
you.
what else is there?
We put a neck brace on her
Yeah.
and money, printing it.
She can do with it. Like, she just has the like, I've heard her let go and like just like really get into yelling and things like that.
Oh,
in a few
yeah.
sets.
Like a fucking Joel Gertner meets Sam Kinison type thing.
Like,
yeah.
but a reserve Sam Kinison, where like he's saying it on, or she's saying it on purpose. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
bring her on.
all right.
I've seen her a few times.
Dude, yeah,
John.
that's a
It's
good
very
call.
fun.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Have her people call me.
Okay. I will.
Call me people.
Okay. I'll direct you your
We'll
way.
make it happen. We'll
make it happen.
at least once.
That's right. That's what we're doing. How did this get booked? You know, we're gonna
book it.
We're booking right now.
booking.
We're gonna deliver you something that we liked, and we're gonna update it.
And we're gonna wonder how that happened too.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you heard it here on this podcast first. But what you did see here first, maybe or at least first for JD, you saw some balcony dives in this match,
That was
JD.
crazy. I saw some blood, which wasn't,
Yeah.
that's very rare for, somebody that doesn't watch professional wrestling a lot. And then I heard a lot of, what was that music that was playing in the background?
So,
that was
there we go.
terrible music.
Excellent transition.
Yeah.
So normally when New Jack wrestles, now first off,
So hold on, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt.
please,
You're interrupting.
interrupt my interrupt.
No, you have the floor, Senator.
So the name Dudley. So there was one guy named Dudley on one team.
Yeah.
And there was two other people named Dudley.
Only there was the Dudley boy. That whole group with Gertner was the Dudley boys.
Right. But they weren't on the same team.
Those two, the black guy and the fat white guy, were.
Okay.
Now
And
the
now-
really scrawny one is the third brother.
He's
or at least one of the other
He's the
brothers.
runt of the family. They used to beat the shit out of him because fuck you, and then he turned babyface while the other ones were the bad guys.
So that's the whole family.
Yeah.
Revolt. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Because the announcer yelling Dudley around like threw me off a little bit. I didn't know who he was talking. Okay. Anyway.
Now, was the match Chair Swinging Freaks and the Dudleys, and then New Jack and...
No, it was a three-way dance. It was,
it was three-way from the very beginning.
Very beginning.
All right. So whenever New Jack would wrestle, Natural Born Killers would play. And would play the entire match he was in. Well, we don't get that. We get some really shitty 90s post 90s made to sound like 90s rap music that just sounded so fucking terrible. And this match went for fucking 15 minutes of just that shit music on loop.
Well, don't worry. I heard the Natural Born Killers the entire time this was going down.
I would have.
You're smiling talking about it.
Honestly, we're upset about it.
Yeah.
Especially when he's going for that balcony dive and he like punches Spike and tells him, "You get up there and you're going to jump, motherfucker."
Loved seeing Balls Mahoney, like I always do. Beautiful super kick.
If you want to see Balls Mahoney, why don't you just look in the
brother?
mirror?
That guy, man, that fucking guy. I still see him every once in a while. I think now he's figured it out. I'm not him since I'm still alive and Balls isn't.
Well, tell the story, and let everybody know the story.
The very first WrestleCade, I was just at a table, selling merch for High Spots. And this guy comes up to me and tells me how great I look and how he's watched me for a while and I've gotten better and I'm getting in better shape and I'm just looking fantastic. And I was like, man, thank you a lot. I'm really trying because at the time, really was. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to some other people and he looks at me for a minute and goes, wait a minute, you're not Balls Mahoney, are you? Nope, sure not. Fucks off. And then I saw this guy multiple times after that, and every time I'd see him, hey man, still not Balls Mahoney. And he would just kind of fuck off, and now Balls Mahoney's dead.
Yeah.
So now that
shortly
guy knows.
after that interaction too.
Yeah, not too long after.
Which is weird when somebody said, "Hey man, you look like you're doing good."
Yeah.
When really, you were
really like I'm almost out the door.
Yeah, you look like a guy who had one foot out the door.
The only thing I can think happened was that guy was real mad at me.
Okay. Happened
to be fucking around Philly or something. Saw the real Balls Mahoney. Thought it was me, and then offed him off. Like, had a hand in what took him out the door.
Okay.
This motherfucker.
Okay, not only booking updated version of ECW angles, we're also spreading conspiracy theories.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
Okay. All right. I'll
sure
roll with that.
Did he go before Axel?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think he went after.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he went after.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Balls Mahoney for life, guys.
Yeah, two of the people in this match are dead. Actually, 3.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dead people here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead people on this show. So
who else is dead?
Well, Big Dick Dudley's dead.
Big Dick, okay, yeah. On the whole show?
On
the whole show, yeah.
Big Dick was the real jacked, long, stringy-haired guy with glasses.
Still have Joel, though.
Yeah, it's all we need. Mm-hmm. Really all we need. I mean, if I got to protect one, if one's got to go, you can take Bubba and just keep us Spike and Devon.
And and Bubba is who he is, but I think Bubba would be like, all right, I get why you.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that's what we'll say about Bubba. Like he knows who he is.
Yeah.
He knows exactly who he is, and if somebody was put with that situation, he'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
One of the 3 of you guys are going.
He's just, I know it. All right. At least I said everything I wanted to say.
Let me start this off by saying, fuck you. I mean, I get it. But fuck you.
But yeah, New Jack, Natural Born Killers is the only way to fucking see his matches.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That was insane watching them flip off the top of that. I don't know. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore, do they?
Or not
I feel
to that
like there's
extent,
safety regulations
not
that
to that
exist.
Yeah.
And only on like really shitty indies where they think they can replicate New Jack stuff.
Yeah. And then it's almost jarring to see this stuff in the way that pro wrestling is now and what we know and the way that we all take care of each other, and then seeing something this violent, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they were taking care of each other, being that
Oh
violent?
no, gosh no! This is the era of like if you put your
Don't put your hands up.
If you put your hands up, you're a fucking pussy.
Oh really?
Like I'm like in that last generation of guys that was told that.
Okay.
That if you put your hands up for a chair shot, you got scolded in the back. Like, what are you doing? Trying to kill this business?
Yeah.
Now
you get yelled at if you don't.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking yell at you. Put your goddamn hands up.
And they'll yell at you on commentary.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget when Nigel McGuinness was screaming on commentary during Steve Corino and Kevin Steen's match in Ring of Honor, and they weren't putting their hands up. And Nigel was screaming about it on commentary. And I just was like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let it ride.
They chose to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at them. They're doing pretty all right, Nige.
How do you think fucking Steve got his job?
Mm-hmm.
Who's not putting his hands up? And if somebody chooses to do that, yeah, sure, it's not great. Maybe that's definitely a conversation you have in the back. But in the moment, you can't really. You might as well put it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fucking yell at him for doing it.
Right.
You're making it worse.
Yeah.
So that's my position on it. Whatever.
Say that's it. Put your hands up.
What I know, I just that thump you heard was basically my hand just going limp because I have Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You've heard a drop foot. It was a drop hand.
Yeah, it was a drop hand. Speaking of a little drop hand,
Jesus.
That's a good transition.
Speaking of things I jerked off to.
match number 5, Just Incredible taking on Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, that checks out.
This was my
Now,
favorite
that
one.
still sets up.
Well, it's not what I. Speaking of things that jerk off,
Yeah.
Jenna Jameson.
Yeah.
Jenna.
Basically ringside reporter or broadcasting partner or what?
What was,
reporter?
her, what was her point of being there?
They made it
Let's
sound
get her
like
on the
she
fucking
was,
show. That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah, that was when
Hey.
I started paying attention.
Hey, look at this girl's boobs.
Yeah.
Let's put her on her show.
Yeah, like she's here. We got to get her on the show somehow. Let's just
Yeah.
make up a fucking reason.
It's what they did.
She made it sound like she was going to be joining Joey Styles doing commentary.
Yeah.
And I was super pumped of just Joey's thinking about Joey Styles having to like drag her through commentary. Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd have been awesome.
But no, this reporter.
Yep.
Interviewer.
Just for that weird spot. No one
Just
told her
so
how
she
microphones
get
work.
kissed by Tommy Dreamer.
Yep.
That's who kissed her?
Yes.
And then the other dude's name was Just Incredible. Justin.
Incredible.
The 23-year-old.
Yeah.
Just
I
Incredible.
put that over a lot.
Yeah.
The
And that they
Dreamer.
should, considering we know Just Incredible now.
What's he look like now?
23 years past his prime.
Yeah.
I like Justin.
I
He's a
do.
nice guy,
He
and
is.
he's going through a thing, so I can't. But man, he was red hot.
Yep.
He was always.
If you're gonna build a company around fucking Rob Van Dam, your other guy is fucking just incredible.
Yeah, red hot at one point in time. And unfortunately, like the story I always heard, in wrestling is they always say get a college degree.
Yeah.
And the story they'd always break up is Just Incredible. And they were talking about like, man, he was the hottest worker in the business at one point in time. And then as soon as WCW closed and ECW closed, he was bagging groceries.
Yeah.
Like, because he didn't have any skills because he got in so young.
Yeah.
And, they don't teach you to watch your money or adapt or change or any of that.
He could have got into the porn industry like
Could
Jenna.
have.
Like Jenna did.
Well, he had already snubbed Jenna, and Jenna was the
Yeah.
biggest thing. She was going to keep him out.
That was his end.
He got blackballed,
He
in, this
blackballed
moment,
her.
in this moment right here.
So whenever my
You
favorite
can blue
part,
ball a girl, but
Yeah.
you can't blackball her.
Yeah.
my favorite
Blue Ball
part
guy,
was
but-
when Jenna
Whatever, you know.
Yeah,
what
I
I
got
mean.
went to go and like she tried to interview Justin, and then Justin was like blah or whatever, and then she was like, fine, I'll interview who I want, and then Dreamer came out, and then she's like talking to Dreamer, and Dreamer just ambush kisses her
Yeah.
and like does the whole like
Hashtag him too.
returning sailor like dip
Yeah.
to her or whatever, brings her back up, and then he just like goes to walk into the ring like without even like looking at her. And the announcer, this is my favorite, the announcer was like, oh, Johnny Dreamer going where no, well, every man has gone before.
Yep. There's not a lot of kissing in porn. It's probably on a lower level there. Fewer guys making out with her than fucking her guy.
Let's be honest here. And also, too, it's funny because this whole thing is like set up because of what Justin was doing to Beulah and saying Beulah was going to be with him, and then Tommy's kissing another woman.
Yeah.
Is that- so like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Pretty much the MO of Tommy Dreamer.
But I'm not mad.
No.
And that's Tommy Dreamer's thing. He just kisses whoever he wants.
Just what
man.
he wants.
And you know what? Soft hands.
Yeah.
He's got real soft. For the innovator of
How do you
violence.
know this? Soft
I
hands.
shook his hand before.
And that's
Tommy
what
Dreamer.
comes through your head?
Tommy Dreamer has some real soft hands.
He's only been a wrestler. He's never probably done hard labor in his
Well,
life.
it's like when you shake his hand, you're like, whoa, those are some soft hands.
Just leave with gloves and lotion.
Like, yeah, he's got to moisturize like crazy. I don't know how are you the innovator of violence, but you have the softest hands in the world? Like, you shake my hands, like, this feels like the innovator of violence right
Yeah.
there. Because I got all kinds of calluses and cuts and scrapes and...
Not Tommy Dreamer.
Not old Tommy Dreamer.
I have
Hand
Tommy Dreamer.
rejuvenations.
So...
the only real, like, I've had many interactions with Tommy Dreamer, but only time in a wrestling like situation was one time I teamed with him, and it was like in a 6-man, and we did all of our stuff, and he did like all my stupid spots and all this stuff. And then after the match, like, everybody's like, oh, so what'd you think? And he's giving everybody critiques and stuff. And I go, Tommy, what did you think about my stuff? And he goes, you know who you are. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
Oh my god, what
You know what it means.
Yeah. He's like, you know what your character is. And he just kind of fucked off. And then and then I think a buddy, I think Caleb went there to wrestle one time, and Tommy was around. I was like, hey, I'm also available. I know you are. Like, okay, Tommy.
Dang.
Thank you, Tommy.
Middle of the road answer. Not sure if that meant anything or not.
Yeah, you are. All right. Fuck me.
Listen, Thomas has been nothing but polite to me.
Yeah.
At every turn, and I even wrestled him before.
Yeah.
He Spicoli drivered me through a tent.
Hell yeah.
He also told me excellent job in the match and said you really, we had a good match and I won and I was over, but you got yourself over. Like it was real emotional to me because I tell you what, every time I see that motherfucker come out to Man in the Box, which you guys missed on the network.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking goosebumps.
Yeah.
I mean, I can listen to it on the radio and it does nothing for me. Uh-huh. But when Man in the Box hits at a fucking wrestling show and he walks out, goosebumps every time. But like I said, on the radio, nothing.
We got a cheap rendition of Man in the Box because when it came on, I was like, oh, I think this is probably gonna be Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, you trust me, it's every time goosebumps.
Yeah,
every time. I gotta commend Tommy for the slingshot on the ramp out of the chair there and Justin's bump off it. That was real cool. Yeah. Also gotta commend Nicole Bass for showing titty on a pay-per-view.
Hell yeah.
I thought that was China.
No, they're the same person.
They wanted China. I mean, what they were going
they
for
wanted
was
a China.
They wanted a China. They got Nicole Bass.
Okay, all right.
And then I just like the finish. Flair flip into DDT.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then the involvement of Mikey and everything's a solid match. Didn't hang on too long. Mm-hmm. Crowd was into it the whole time.
Had a Beulah moment.
Beulah moment, properly timed. Great. I mean, just laid out perfectly. And that's what Tommy's great at is laying out shit exactly like this. So you're going to have the most entertaining match on the entire card. Mm-hmm. So, but let's go to a match that we consider probably the best on the entire show.
Yeah.
Match number 6, Taz taking on Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow. You know who that looks like?
Who?
Looks like James Hustle, who let himself go.
Yes. I've discussed James R. Hustle has talked a little bit about that. James R. Hustle is the local...
Has he been on here?
No. Because he's a wrestling fan. He's a wrestling fan.
Is he? I didn't know that.
He's a Charlotte area comedian, a wrestling fan, but he's made jokes about Bam Bam Bigelow. We've talked about.
Okay, good. As long as he knows about how much the resemblance is.
It's been discussed.
Okay, good.
So
good.
Basically, this whole match was set up because Bam Bam did one of his many swerves on the triple threat. Mm-hmm. They were always doing swerves with the triple threat, like he's always turning heel, face, whatever. But we got this match. Bam Bam comes out to Welcome to the Jungle, which you guys did not hear.
Did not.
Which Welcome to the Jungle was used by so many people as their ECW theme. Mm-hmm. The Steiners used it. Eddie Guerrero used it. I think either Psychosis or Rey Mysterio used it. Like anytime somebody said play whatever, they would play Welcome to the Jungle or Sad but True by Metallica. Yeah. Those are the two when people would say just play whatever.
Or Pantera. Some people had a lot of Pantera. Yeah. I mean, we played this game a long time ago where all the Mexicans got a certain song.
And of course, Bam Bam Bigelow, with it being in New Jersey, he's the hometown boy, even though he's kind of the heel in this situation. Taz is very much at the top of the game. Like, they're getting ready to put the rocket ship on Taz. Taz is about ready to ascend to the main event level of ECW.
What I never understood about the network is, like, since they don't play their actual music, but they have someone like a Bam Bam Bigelow who made a large run in WWE. Why didn't they play his WWE music for him there?
They did, just not on the one that we watched.
No, I mean, like, the music the WWE owns about Bam Bam Bigelow.
The ones where they go, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, like, why they don't play that over instead of just generic bullshit music?
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe because I feel like that would take you out even more.
No, maybe. I don't
know. But what I do know is Taz's tan game on fucking point for this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking tan game.
Tan.
Very tan.
Very tan.
Also do that pan up of him in the corner.
Oh yeah,
like that shot.
Big fight feel.
Yeah, and they use that a lot for video packages in the years to come. Like I met the camera guy from ECW. I think I forget what his name was, like Charles or Charlie or something like that. Like something real cool like that. And he worked with Extreme Rising. When they started back up, like he was one of the guys that like they reached out and they got I think it was Charlie or whatever, but he had a mustache. He was another mustache guy himself, but he was the guy. If he rides a bike, he's in the gang. He's in the gang, but he kind of like not really revolutionized, but he kind of perfected this ability to zoom in and out, especially when guys would be going for strikes or punches. He could time it up because he'd be filming 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
These guys, and so he kind of figured out all the spots, and he said that he goes, man, I just would get bored, so I was trying to entertain myself in the middle of matches, so I do this zoom in and out, and I would try different angles, and like it was kind of part of like the feel of ECW of him trying different things, and him working with these guys all the time. He knew where they were going to be all the time, so he tried to figure out a way to be in the right place at the right time to capture everything.
Have you tried anything like that?
When I was doing ringside camera for Ring of Honor for a short period of time, like probably like almost 10 years ago, I would hang out by the ring because I was also a wrestler at the time too, and so I'm pretty fearless when it comes to getting in there, like, almost to a fault. Like sometimes I end up blocking people's view in the front row, or sometimes a little bit too much in the way of a spot. So like sometimes I get like, hey, look out, move. I'm usually quick to get out of the way, but I'm very much in there.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I'd hang out by the ring while the guys are putting together their matches. So if they would be talking about doing something to the outside or doing something like that, I'd be like, all right, what's the best angle for me to film for that? Like Kyle O'Reilly had like a kick that he would come off the apron. So I was trying to figure out like where would be the best place to be. I almost got to a point that I was gonna be like, hey, I think maybe the best place, I need a little bit more distance. Maybe I could hop the guardrail real fast and film from there at a lower angle, or I would be like, I get all the way to the guardrail but come at a low angle and shoot it. So sometimes I would do stuff like that and try and be as inventive as possible so their spots would look as good as they did. So if there was a time in Ring of Honor's video releases around 2010 to maybe 2012 and you're like, man, this is really good, it's because of me.
Yeah, this guy's got it figured out. And then they told me to fucking stop.
Yeah, or if they're like, oh, this was fucking awful, it's me too.
It's
still me. It's still me either way.
Yeah. You're watching the same thing as everyone else, and it is me.
But one moment that I'm glad they captured was the suplex off the ramp to the floor onto the fucking guardrail.
Barf. Barf.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
That hurt me watching it.
Man.
I knew I was just being entertained.
No.
Like, Taz had a look on his face like, watch this, bro. And then fucking, he got the worst of that suplex.
Yeah.
Like...
I think Bam Bam was like, are you sure?
Yeah, because Bam Bam's like, yeah, I got a fucking safe bump. I'll fucking take this bump all day. You, though.
Yeah. You're the one that's not so safe here.
You're the one that's going to fall in between this dead area. And then we just have a random bar hang out that's either going to hit you in the middle of the back or at the base of the skull.
What you feeling?
What do you feel? What, dealer's choice?
Yeah.
Dealer's choice.
All right.
We'll let gravity decide.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And then, of course, the slapjack on the table towards the end, like, that was definitely like a thing that Taz was like, I got you, bro. I don't need you to get you that close. And Bam Bam's like, oh, I'm a little, sure you don't need me a little closer? And
I'm
then,
fucking Taz.
Yeah, I think there were a couple moments like that. I'm fucking Taz, bro. Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts on the finish, guys?
Once the entire thing has played out, it was great.
Yeah.
All the cards have been revealed. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the fucking choke out of nowhere. I love that Bam Bam like slipped on all the fucking water on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved it.
So
it was a great plan.
Was it a plan? I couldn't tell. I was just the floor broke.
Yeah.
What? And like that's where I was at.
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't know how they did it. They just have somebody under there that slides boards. Okay.
I imagine it's something to that effect, and then you could have like the cross beams Like some rings, they go to a middle beam.
Yeah.
So you could probably
pop
it out so that way they don't have any beams that they could fall through, and then just move the boards or keep the boards so there's something to break through.
Yeah.
But just
probably that to break their fall a little bit.
Yeah, break their fall a little bit, because you'll have the padding and such. Yeah. But I watched this with comedian Tyler Wood, who's a wrestling fan, who will never be on this podcast because he's a wrestling fan. But he'd never seen this match before.
Oh, okay.
And he'd never even seen the footage of it happening. So
he lost his shit.
Lost his fucking shit over that this fucking happened.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming at all. So it was the most genuine and honest reaction to it. So for somebody who was a wrestling fan to have never seen this before and then fucking be blown away, which is weird because he has the network and knows everything about the current product, but has never watched
ventured into the past.
Ventured in the past and seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, amazing.
I loved it. Yeah.
And then of course, Paulie's quick to get on the mic saying we're gonna cancel the Al Snow John Cronus match. Kill time. Fuck it. We're gonna play Sabu and Sandman. Fuck the censors.
God, that was cool.
Talk about how you think
I didn't even give a shit about the match they played. Just that they've been planting all these seeds the entire time, and this big old shit moment was their big payoff.
Yeah.
And this had been the plan the whole time, and it was written to be that specific thing. I thought it was just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, because in the pace of the show, you would want this match to be second to last.
Yeah.
And this just goes to show that we're willing to sacrifice. Because I don't know what was going on during the live show.
Yeah.
Like for the live audience, because they're obviously
would have had to have been this.
No, but they didn't. Like the live audience that was sitting there at the show,
okay.
Like what were they doing? Just sitting there for an extra
watching them repair
the ring. But they'd already seen obviously this match because it was earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But the fact that you understood that you were going for a pay-per-view audience and doing something special for that.
You know what I think they did in that entire time?
What?
Handed out all the heads.
That had to be what it is.
That is exactly what it has to be, because you never see heads up until now.
Yeah, not even like very
not
few.
even a glimp.
Yeah, so this is the time we're gonna hand out all the heads.
8 million fucking heads.
Yeah. So, but for the pay-per-view audience, like it's logistical genius.
No, exactly, 100%. That's why I think it's one of the smartest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. But you take this match that they obviously saw earlier, but you hype it up as like this was banned, we can't play it, but we're gonna give it to you guys as a live audience. But obviously, it's something you want to put semi-main. Which
in watching the match, it wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't that violent to where it wouldn't be on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that wasn't too disturbing.
But I also didn't take that into consideration as far as it mattering. Like when I was like, well, this wasn't even that violent to not show. I still didn't know the payoff. Like I still didn't really I still hadn't seen everything. And so I was like, that wasn't that violent, but it didn't make or break anything to me at that point.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a perfectly fine match, and there's nothing real to it. It was cool to see Rob Van Dam come out
in the fucking pants.
In the pants.
Yeah.
And then be a part of the finish and like double Sabu, like that was
which
cool.
Explains why Sabu was there earlier.
Yeah.
So, like just the whole layout of everything and pacing this together, and then presenting this as a pay-per-view show.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a genius.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it, JD?
I thought it was awesome. I thought the Sabu coming in at the end was the. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see this part.
Okay.
I didn't see this part. I watched 4 out of 5, 4/5 of the episode, and then, like as soon as he fell through the ring, I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I had to go.
Then I was done.
Then I had to go. So I didn't see this last part. So that's probably why I was confused.
Also, you didn't see the main event either.
I didn't see the main event.
All right.
I watched the second to the last event because I thought it was the headlining event.
Gotcha.
Once you saw the ring break, I'm like, well, show's over.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, well, that's got to be the main event.
How are you going to fix the ring? Like, what do you do to fix the ring? Okay, I can see it.
Okay.
The main event.
That's fine. We'll walk you through it, baby.
He just got mad at me for emceeing a show.
So am I.
So you're like, fuck
in
you.
Perfect JD fashion.
It was second to last. It was second to last part.
You already put the headliner up, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was the headliner. It was the
headliner
spot. I thought we were done. The ring broke. What else is gonna happen?
We saw a titty. Like, what else do you want?
Came out.
Yeah. Saw a bulldog get walked around with a Halliburton.
Hell yeah. What else could you possibly do? I applaud you for that thought. I also appreciate that you tried to start to talk about it, And they were like, you know what? I didn't watch it. I really liked when Sabu came out, and I was gonna be like, he was in the match. Yeah, and then you're like, I didn't watch it. Like, yes, so good.
How did this get booked?
I appreciate every bit of everything you just did there. You were gonna commit to it, and you're like, nah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm not gonna base this on lies.
I feel like I committed last time.
I got nothing to prove in this podcast.
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? We're already here.
Yeah.
We're an hour and something in. What are you gonna do
to the way through it, man.
We're an hour and 10 minutes in. You guys aren't gonna kick me off now.
Get to the main event.
Yep.
Let's get to the.
Let's do it then.
Let's get to the headliner, the main events. Match number 8.
Dusty.
So
Shane Douglas, Chris Candido taking on Lance Storm and a mystery opponent who is revealed as Sonny.
Yeah. Which was basically the exact same thing that happened with the Beulah thing. Beulah, like, where's Beulah? Beulah comes out, dicks him. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be this mystery partner? It's Sonny. Oh, wait, she double swerved. Mm-hmm. Same thing. That was a little weird. Yeah. But what we got was great.
Yeah, and it was just to set up them attacking Lance Storm.
And I like that they mentioned Al Snow and the Furnas thing. So when they...
Yeah, there's a lot of little layers that we had to cancel the Al Snow Cronus match, but Al Snow was definitely in the building, and they're passing out all these heads and getting all that out there. So there's more than enough time, and it's almost like you have the Sabu and Sandman match being aired while they're fixing the ring, quote unquote, and putting up caution tape.
Yeah. And they really don't even fucking fix the ring because they fall through it again later.
Oh, yeah. Like, Sonny, she whiffs with the cookie sheet and then falls into the hole of the ring, which can't fault it too much. She had platform heels on. All right. I get it.
Had a fucking rat-ass robe.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that jerked off to.
Yeah. This is true.
Recently.
Recently. Her recently. Recently.
Not recently.
And then all of a sudden, all we're trying to do is just Lance Storm in the middle of the ring, putting microphone in face. I'm like, well, what are you going to give me now? What are you going to give me now? I'm like, I'm going to give you head. And then that's when, like, the fucking Al
Then
Snow,
the camera goes upside down.
But innovative stuff with the zoom in, zoom out, and they just wanted to create this whole...
That was fucking intense on that zoom.
This whole thing is to set up to make this look like a rave and a party and an experience. And this just all goes back to... The crowd is such a big part of the show, and it's all about that.
Yeah,
you guys are almost making me wish to go back.
You should. This is the climax.
You have to just see this last part when
his whole gimmick was he like carried a head with him.
Yeah,
and so they handed out
Yeah,
they handed out all these like styrofoam like display heads, and they just start chucking them into the ring. There's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these fucking heads flying.
Yeah, styrofoam.
And the people are still holding their heads too. Yeah. Like they kept a head through a head.
Some of the mannequin heads that we use at highspots.com, even still to this day,
are some of these heads.
So, maybe not from this specific event, but certain ones that they put in the arena and other shows. Because Michael Bakikio, the owner of High Spots, used to go to ECW shows, and he went to an ECW show, and he was also at that time. Michael was selling masks online. Yeah. So he'd be like, oh, these mannequin heads, I could use these to put masks on, take pictures of, to post them online so I can sell them. And we even still have some of the same mannequin heads that he got from the ECW arena that we use even today for some of the masks that we get in from Mexico and everywhere else.
That's kind of cool. So, kind of badass.
So in case you're curious, they're still in rotation, guys.
Yeah, and definitely some of the pictures are definitely online. If you see some of the older pictures that are up of some masks that we've had for a while, you'll see a styrofoam head that was from ECW in the run of Al Snow. So, but yeah, this is all to grade up to get over Al Snow because he's going to be headlining the pay-per-view with Shane Douglas at WrestlePalooza in Cobb County, Georgia. So that's what they're all setting up for. And just seeing Chris Candido slip on these mannequin heads and being flipped around.
I love Chris Candido.
Yeah, like he was just great, and even just the little bit that he's doing here. So, yeah, great atmosphere. This is all about getting Al Snow over at probably the peak of his entire fucking career. Like this is like a big moment for a guy that's worked very hard and very long, and me being a guy right now, and good things are happening to me, and then knowing how at the next pay-per-view it all gets taken away from him politically by Shane Douglas. Just makes me worry for myself. So, JD, what'd you think of the whole show, or at least the parts that you saw?
Dude, what'd you think about 4 and 5/4?
It was great. It took me back to my childhood. I kept trying to replace these people in shows that I saw like in high school, like 3 or 4 years later after 90. So it was like 2002 or something like that. And I thought I saw like Triple H and who was this guy that did this? The Suck It
Triple
guy.
H was a sucker guy.
Triple H was a Suck It guy.
Or X-Pac.
And then X-Pac. That's what I'm trying to say. I thought one of them was X-Pac.
You saw X-Pac's buddy, just incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Close.
All right.
Yeah, he looks like he's shaved.
Yeah.
X-Pac.
So yeah, and then the Hardy Boys, I kept trying to place them in that. They weren't in it.
No.
So all right. So and then
Just
I
the
felt
long-haired people, though. I mean,
I thought I saw Triple H too several times.
Obviously, you brought him up several times.
Yeah.
Still
hasn't been in it.
I'm like, maybe this is why Jake asked me to watch the show.
Nope.
So if I could pick up on any of the wrestlers that came
So,
up later.
had it been Triple H, would you have watched it all?
No, I mean,
No, I would not.
No, I probably would have stopped 3/5 of the week.
Yeah, I'm like, I know his career after this. I don't have to watch this
Well,
part.
I thought Nick Furnas. Here's
Doug
how
Furnas, yeah.
Doug Furnas.
Yeah.
Here's how fucked up I was. I thought that was Stone Cold Steve Austin
Okay.
before he shaved his head and his eyebrows.
Okay.
I was like, this must be the match where Stone Cold Steve Austin was like, I gotta change things
This
up.
is where he says so. He wrestled this Japanese man in a 3-star match, 2.5-star match. It was like shaving it all.
Well, don't feel too bad. Tyler, who, like I said, is a very big wrestling fan, when he saw Shane Douglas in the ring, Tyler was like, "Is that Hugh Morris?"
On that note, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Nothing else to say. Was that good for you?
That's about a good place to finish.
That's as good a place as any.
If you're gonna watch ECW, man, this is a great thing. Obviously, I've just gushed about the booking of it. So as a booker, this is fantastic. And production guy, this gives a fantastic little wrap up, and definitely see it for the.
Yeah, the only reason we discuss this is because a lot of people were saying there's only 2 good matches on the show, but also too, I think it's more important to. I mean, that's what all the online reports.
Yeah. All those fucking Miz arcs.
Yeah, like that, and that's what the show's about, is looking back at stuff that people are like, oh, this wasn't this good, or this, or they get these lukewarm reviews. Just go back, we're gonna go back and watch it as fans.
Yeah.
We're taking somebody who's only seen 2 wrestling shows and give it to them and ask if they enjoyed the time, and obviously they did. But
I did for the 2 hours, not the 2.5.
I understand.
Sound like the half hour was.
Yeah, if you're gonna skip a match, you could have skipped one at the beginning.
Yeah.
There you go. Next time I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna skip 45 minutes.
Yeah, just go 45 minutes in. There you go.
And then make sure I finish it out, because it's not like a stand-up comedy show where the headliner is second to last. Last.
This fucking guy.
Not letting it fucking go.
Dude, I appreciate you having me on here, man. This
I appreciate it too, but that's the whole point. Is for someone like you to be like, oh no, this was a good show, and you guys are just being overly critical of it, and or just you are.
You guys put way too much into this wrestling thing.
But no, and also too, people talk about ECW not holding up too well, but the entertainment value of it, I think, holds up.
Oh yeah, it definitely.
So some of the wrestling, is.
Yeah, but if you can't take it with the grain in which it is meant, then I mean you should be watching it anyway.
Exactly.
If you're not going to keep in mind that this was in fucking 1998, and this is what wrestling was in 1998, then if you're not going to take that into consideration, you might as well just not watch it at all.
Exactly. So, and that's how I want to see it. I want to explore this, and that's what we did, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So,
I recommend it.
Absolutely. I
do
as well.
too.
Good.
I do too.
Thank you. If you guys want to see Hugh Morris, Stone Cold, Triple H, and X-Pac in their infancy.
Boys, all of them.
In 98. That's where it is.
Goldberg!
We're not even talking about anything. I was just sitting on him yelling Goldberg.
Goldberg! You just yelled at somebody yells Freebird at a concert. Every time you're gonna see wrestling on in a bar somewhere, you're gonna be like, Goldberg!
I will too.
Oh shit.
This is obviously not coming out this Thursday. It's coming out next Thursday. Zane, what do you have coming up?
This is the 28th, so this coming weekend, Caleb Conley and myself are heading down to Florida. Jake Madden's too cool to come hang out with us. We'll be at Ronan in Deerfield, Florida, and then the next day, on Sunday, we'll be in Ybor City for FIP. Then coming up, we'll have PWX Rise of a Champion, where we'll be wrestling the Ugly Ducklings in a DLC match that I don't want to do. Then Queens of Combat, March 16th, our Stone Cold Queens show. That is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin related in multiple ways.
Fantastic. Look forward to that. JD, you got anything coming up, or at least plug your social medias and stuff like that?
Yeah, follow me at JD Colwell. That's on Instagram.
Dash or underscore?
Dash on Instagram. It might be underscore, but it's COLWELL. Follow me on there. And then March 7th, I'll be out.
He's only 5/5.
I was just about to say, I got most of my name
5/6,
right.
yeah.
Kinda...
5/6. 5/5 would be watching the whole thing. He's a 5/6.
Fractions.
That's way better than the 1/5 that I gave y'all the first time. It's 200% better. The March 7th, Petra's. I'll be out at Petra's in Charlotte. If y'all get a chance to come by the show, it's over in Plaza Midwood by the old Penguin. And then April 7th, I believe, April 4th, I'll be at 26 Acres Brewery.
Right,
so
awesome.
Other than that, I'll be on the Funny Bus, funnybus.net. Randomly throughout the weekends in Charlotte. It's an hour-and-a-half tour around Charlotte where people get on there, they bring their own booze, and then stand up and tell jokes.
That's cool. I've wanted to do that.
It's a blast. It's like, dude, you should really get into it if you can.
I might take a tour with you one of these days, so I can sit in the back and flip you off the
man.
entire time.
I would love it, man. Doing these shows, the Funny Bus shows are like, it's like.
I may have somebody visiting, and we may need to do something. I would most certainly do that.
Great said, JD. I stopped paying attention the last 4 minutes. But goddamn, that first two was fucking rad.
First
man.
2 hours of this trip, pretty much all the last 30.
Touche, salesman. Touche.
Last 20 minutes, though, I tuned the fuck out. This is a whole bottle of wine.
That's usually what happens. That's
Great,
usually how it
I'm
goes.
in. And when does this happen? When does this start?
So tours run Thursday through Sunday, and I'm doing the tour this Thursday, and then I'm off the end of the month, but then March schedule hasn't come out yet. But I'm usually doing 4 or 5 tours on a weekend.
Cool.
So they're a blast. It's from a stand-up comedian point of view, performer's point of view, it's comparable to playing tennis with like 5 or 6 ball machines all shooting at you at one time, with all these variables that you're trying to hit. You miss most of them.
Mm-hmm.
At least 4/5 of them you miss.
My doctor told me not to partake in sports where balls fly at my face. So
You
here's my social life.
Dynamite Clueless reference, right?
Like I was about to say, 3 people are gonna love that Clueless reference. Fucking Destiny Edwards is gonna kill me on that one.
This is coming out the 28th, as we said before. I am too cool for school because I'll be wrestling in Waterbury, Connecticut, March 3rd in a title match for Northeast Wrestling. But before I get there, I'll be doing comedy at Brick Row on March 1st, if you listen to this in a timely fashion. And then March 8th, I will be wrestling in Des Moines, and March 9th, I'll be wrestling in Des Moines for Wrestling Revolver. And then I will also be at Stone Cold Queens, but also too, March 14th, I'll be having another VizArt show, and I will probably put the headliner on second to last.
FYI, MC.
And I put it out there. I'm going to start talking about it for a month now.
So if any of my wrestling or if any of my stand-up friends out there want to be the host that night, let me know. I got a spot for you.
That'll be March 15th, and then the March 14th is my all-organic comedy show, and then, of course, I'll be there for Queens on March 16th. And that's basically all I want to talk about right now. But before we get out of here, I do want to let you guys know, like, hey, if you got a podcast and you want to sound it good-ish, contact Don at Six Squirrel Studios at sixsquirrelstudios.com. If we screwed the pooch on something, or if you're Mike Johnson and you want to let me know, like, hey, man, you should have talked about this, just holler at me on Twitter at ManScoutManning, or on Instagram at ManScoutManning, or email me at ManScoutManning manscoutmanning at yahoo.com. Also to log on to How Did This Get Booked. That's where I have all of my merch and information about the upcoming shows. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, wherever podcasts are available. Also to big thank you again to John Moses Photography and _Ray_ for leaving reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
We don't know.